NBC Sports, home of the Olympic Games, the FedEx Cup playoffs, the NHL, the NASCAR playoffs, and Super Bowl 52, only on NBC.
Every time the sport returns to the place where it began, the beaches of Daytona, there's a chance for something special. Tonight, that chance is so much more. Dale Earnhardt Jr., in his last full season, races at Daytona for what could be the final time, and he'll do so from the pole position. It has all the makings of magic. The countdown to green from Daytona, NASCAR on NBC, has begun.
Welcome to NASCAR Countdown to Green, presented by Sonic, as we get ready to go racing.
Daytona International Speedway, the place young racers dream to one day be. And if the driver named Dale is the one standing in victory lane, this track, this city, will absolutely erupt. Welcome to NASCAR on NBC. Chris Devoto alongside two gentlemen who, just like Dale Earnhardt Jr., watched their dads race here before going on to drive themselves. Kyle Petty, our Hall of Famer, Dale Jarrett. Now, a lot of the fans have already made their way out on the track. Yes. Driver introductions happening right now. But Kyle, put it in perspective. There are 40 drivers in this field. They all want to win. If it's Dale Jr. who gets it done, how big will that be?
You asked me during the break how big that would be. I don't believe that there would ever be a victory that big here. Yeah. I'm telling you, for where the sport is now, what the sport has become, and the history of the sport, where we're at in that transition and where the sport's going, this could be the biggest thing to happen to this sport in a, if not forever, in a long dang time.
Yeah, you know, as a driver, when you're retiring, winning in that last season, we saw what it meant to Jeff Gordon at Martinsville a couple of years ago, Tony Stewart last year at Sonoma, Dale Jr. to win here at Daytona in his final full season, to get himself into the playoffs. There's nothing bigger. It would be not just motorsports news, it would be for all of sports out there, and just great news. He's ready, he's got the fast car, and he's the best restrictor plate driver in the field, so it's all set up for him to go get it done.
Yeah, and he's been the fastest man in town so far because he starts on the pole. Fans have been all over him this weekend. Let's take a look at what's on the Sonic menu. Hendrick Motorsports had a great day in Friday's qualifying. Not only did Dale Earnhardt Jr. get the pole, Chase Elliott right alongside. They sweep the front row. Jr. looking for his 18th career win at Daytona. 7 drivers were forced to pull double duty as last night's Xfinity Series race had to be concluded, well, just really a few hours ago due to weather. How will that affect their chances tonight? Martin Truex Jr. and Kyle Larson resume their battle for the top spot in the regular season standings here at Daytona. Kyle Larson is with our Kelly Statist.
And Kyle Larson came so close to winning the Daytona 500 here back in February. Kyle, it came down to the last lap. You're leading but ran out of fuel, obviously. That was a mileage race, but you still must have done something right to even be in that position. So what were the lessons from February that might help you out today?
I missed a few of the big wrecks, but once we got to the lead, I felt like I learned a lot. Things I could do to kind of keep the lead, which was nice. And actually, you know, when I was second, I figure out some things to get to the lead. So hopefully we put ourselves in position again. We have another shot to win here at Daytona, but looking forward to our Credit One Bank Chevy. We've only been doing single car runs in it, so we're not sure how it's going to draft. It's a little bit different kind of aero pack or aero whatever design than what we're used to. So we'll see how it goes.
Looking at the big picture, you've got the 2 wins in the playoffs. How do you balance kind of going for maybe some more stage wins versus really wanting to protect that overall points lead?
Yeah, I mean, bonus points are big right now for us, so we can get some stage wins and some race wins before the playoffs start to kind of, you know, get away from the competition a little bit more than we already are. That'd be big. So we'll keep fighting hard at it.
All right, Kyle Larson with his son Owen here to cheer him on.
Yes, indeed, Kelly. Thank you. And yeah, if it has wheels, pretty much Owen will play with it. Kyle will drive it. Is he the next big thing in NASCAR, Dale?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. We've been talking about it for years, the potential that he has. He's now showing us that potential. And a lot of it's because Chip Ganassi and his organization stepped up and got this young man better race cars to where he didn't have to overdrive them trying to get them to victory lane. So they're fast cars now. He's doing a much better job. He's learned about what it takes to get towards the end of these races. And I think right now, you know, he's speaking that stage wins and different things. This is Daytona. This is about winning, going to victory lane at Daytona tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely about Daytona tonight, and we know that he can win on the 2-mile racetracks. This is a 2.5-mile high bank with a restrictor plate. That's a little bit different, but I'm going to say this. We have touted this guy and said, next greatest thing, next thing since sliced bread, meaning Joey Logano, next greatest thing to come down the pike. At the same time, they didn't have the wins. Now he's winning races because, as you say, Ganassi is giving this guy the equipment. He's winning races. He can grab the bull by the horns, and he can be one of those next guys.
These guys are athletes. They're cowboys. They're fearless. They have their families with them here at Driver Intros. Well, the man breathing down Larson's neck is Martin Truex Jr. He's won 2 races this year, and thanks in part to our Toyota Camry on-track car, he may have found an edge.
Martin Truex Jr. here. What's up? I just stole Jeff Burton's NBC car. Going to take y'all for a ride around Daytona International Speedway. Check out what it's all about. Coming up to speed, turn 1. This is almost like qualifying lap right here. Here we are, 1, 2, turn 2, coming off the backstretch. Track really flattens out right here. It gets flat. It's really pretty smooth. Really here at Daytona, it's probably about the easiest track to get around by yourself, but one of the hardest in traffic. Here in July, this track's going to get really hot. It's going to get really slippery. You got cars all around you in the draft. Where it's going to get challenging is entering this corner before you get into this banking, and then exiting this corner as you leave the banking with 3 and 4 wide cars all around you. It gets real hairy right here where it gets flat. But those are generally what you look for here. It's all about the draft. It's all about momentum. It's all about trying to keep the momentum in your car to keep it towards the front and not get hung out. It's very, very tough. You're running 200 miles an hour. You got to trust all the guys around you are going to make the right moves, not get into you, not lose control of their car. You really just have to put a lot of trust in that and keep that thing on the floor, because if you're not on the floor, you're going backwards. Hey guys, thanks for letting me do this. Appreciate it. Enjoyed showing you all around Daytona International Speedway in this Toyota. We'll see if we can't put this 78 car in victory lane tonight.
It's like Burton's out of a ride. I mean, a driver's swap. I just don't know how you guys are so calm. He sounded so calm there on that radio. How do you guys do that?
Well, because he's a great race driver.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes, we talk about his team. I'm not sure that driver gets enough credit for really how good he is.
There you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. Looks calm, talking with his teammate Jimmy Johnson before this race takes place. Well, maybe the only man faster than Dale Jr., at least with us here today, is our Olympic track analyst Otto Bolden, who has turned in starting blocks for a starting grid. We'll show you how the world champion sprinter has spent his weekend at Daytona when we return here on NBC. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Racing brought to you by Sonic. This is how you Sonic. NASCAR America is moving to a new time. Beginning next Monday, July 3rd, we're on at 5 p.m. Eastern. Weekdays right here on NBCSN. We will see you at 5 p.m. daily. That's when we talk about Danica, other drivers being introduced to the crowd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. hopes to exhale around midnight tonight and be covered in beer in victory lane when he does it. I think any driver would take that scenario. Every new fan has questions. Well, we thought what better way to answer them than bring in somebody really fast. Otto Bolden has been an NBC analyst for track and field since 2007. He represented Trinidad and Tobago in 4 Olympics, taking home 4 medals. And just like a track athlete, a little bit of everything around this track.
So we are headed into the tunnel.
Everybody likes the tunnel. They like to go through and yell our driver when we go through the tunnel. 88, real loud. 88!
Blow your horn. Where's your horn?
Oh, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
We don't have any horn. This is a sort of a rite of passage because once you get on the other side of this tunnel,
on the other side of the tunnel,
now you're in.
What do you think, man?
Very nice. This is an epic day. I can't believe I'm getting to drive a 1938 stock car. Woo! Yeah! Yeah, this thing will move if you make it. I'm starting to really enjoy this now.
Otto, you ready to go for a ride?
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
All right.
Perfect.
I'm driving at Daytona.
There you go, man. Most famous track in the world right here.
Dude, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
The first time I heard your name was with that gnarly crash that you had here.
Oh, yeah. it happened right there.
Yeah, right.
Took down that whole fence section.
That was one of those where I just went, wow. What these guys do for a living is not easy.
No joke. You never know what can happen. You want to creep up the banking?
Sure. I lifted just a little, I'll be honest.
So think about 3 wide.
You process things in a way that a civilian like me could not possibly.
But you have to really relax. And
right.
It's like when you go to get in the blocks for the race. If you're
That's
uptight
right.
and stiff,
you gotta relax.
So the biggest thing is letting the car kind of do its thing.
The best day at Daytona ever. I'll put this up against anybody else. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Well, it's Dale Jr.'s farewell to Daytona. Let me look at that 88 Dale Jr., the blue one.
40.
Dale, thanks for the memories. It's been really a pleasure. Hey,
you're a committed guy, man. Otto Boulder, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yes, sir.
I was talking about the fact that fans don't get this kind of access in other sports. What makes you stand up here 48 hours before your last race here and do this?
Well, they come out here and stand in this heat all day long. I know they've been pulling for us to get one this year, and it means a lot to me.
Well, listen, man, I'm glad that I got into this sport before you got out of it. Thank you for the hat, and all the best. Good luck to you.
Enjoy your weekend.
You get to do this like every other week? That's great. So you are 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Do you even start thinking about the race?
Once you get in the car, everyone goes away.
Gotcha.
Welcome to Independence Weekend Racing.
Such a spectacle.
Green flag is in the air.
Pretty impressive. Otto, you're an athlete. How does your sport compare to NASCAR?
Well, the Olympics is a lot of a spectacle, and this is certainly not far behind. I am just blown away by being down here and seeing these throngs of people and how close they get to these drivers before this big race.
Really cool. Yeah, the fans are everywhere. If Otto needs to make an escape, at least he's fast enough to do it. He can run a 9.86 100-meter dash. Well, it's the race Junior Nation has been waiting for. If Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to make the playoffs, this might be his best chance. We will talk to Dale Jr. How's he feeling moments before this historic final Daytona ride?
And starting on the pole for tonight's race, car number 88, the Nationwide Chevrolet from Kannapolis, North Carolina, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Hey, race fans. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight. It's going to be a hell of a race. Enjoy it.
That was Dale Jr. just moments ago. Seems pretty calm, right?
So far.
So far. Now he just has to jump in the car and get it done. You're going to hear from Dale Earnhardt Jr. You see him there with Marty Snyder riding around the track. When they get done with that, we will have it for you next.
Protection.
Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series racing provided by Sonic. This is how you Sonic.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father.
He was with me tonight. I don't know how I did it. I dedicate this win to him.
I don't think there's anybody here that didn't want to see that.
He had a good teacher. He told him a lot about this place. He loved this place. Hell, listen to them fans up there. They love that kid to death.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the 46th Daytona 500.
Good God. I'm Daytona 500 champion. I can't believe it.
Throws the block on Denny Hamlin. Across the line he comes.
We're going to turn this down. I cannot believe it. This is better than the first one.
Junior will win a Daytona.
Daytona and Earnhardt. Marty, you can't say one without the other. So the million-dollar question, how's Dale Jr. feeling?
Well, let's ask him, Krista. It's been amazing to ride around the racetrack with him at driver introductions as well. And what were sort of the emotions going through your mind seeing all these fans cheering for you?
Oh, man, this is Daytona. They're excited about this race. We got a lot of fans here that love to see us come run here. And we got a fast car. We're on the pole, so they're really looking forward to the night, thinking we got a shot at the win, and we do too. So they're excited, we're excited, so you can feel it.
You've done 611 these, Junior, but are there honestly some nerves tonight, feeling the pressure?
There's a little pressure that's unusual. Anytime you qualify well or get the pole, it puts a little pressure on you as a driver, but that all goes away once you get in the car and get in the heat of the race. Everybody wants to see us win tonight. It's Daytona. A lot of folks think this might be our best opportunity to win before the chase begins. So, there's a little added pressure, but you'll forget about that around 20 laps into the race.
This week, he introduced a cool new campaign for his fans. Let's see how he rolled that out.
It's going to be Dale Earnhardt Jr. using lessons learned from his father. Oh, yeah! Today, the Grade 8 goes back to victory lane. I love you, man. The legacy continues.
Just get out and acknowledge these fans. They love you.
I'll never take this for granted, man. Just real thankful. My racing career isn't just about me. It's about the team. The fans. The families. The tracks. The sponsors. The whole sport.
I want to be a race car driver someday. It's a great sport. I love it to death. It's all I've ever known, racing.
Join us over the next 5 months on the Junior Nation Appreciation Tour, where we show appreciation to where it's owed.
Very cool as we unveil here the second half of the season, Junior. What's sort of the message you want to send to the fans as you get to visit them for the final time?
I just want to be able to show them the appreciation for supporting us. They've made this career extremely exciting and fun for me. Without the fan support that I've had over the years, it would have been a completely different story. But it's also about the people that have worked on our cars over the years, guys that I've worked with, my family, all the industry, the folks that work in NASCAR, the folks that work at the racetracks. It's really just a big thank you to everybody that's made this so much fun, because without all these people, this really doesn't happen. And so we want to make sure that they feel appreciated throughout the rest of the season.
All right, Krista, fans all around us. Dale Earnhardt Jr. hoping he can get those fans a win tonight here at Daytona.
So emotional, Marty, and you really almost heard his voice crack a couple of different times there, Dale. He knows what's at stake.
Yeah, he does. He knows exactly where he's at and what everything is about right here. And he talked about the pressure. And pressure does different things to different athletes. But the ones that are the greatest, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, they love that added pressure, and they step up when the moment becomes the biggest. Watch for one of his best performances tonight.
Yeah, and we know he can step up. But I'm going to say, just throw out some words. He's been reflective. He's been appreciative all week long. Every interview we've seen, he's been that way, thinking about understanding the history, the magnitude of this moment. At the same time, he's focused and determined. You know what I mean? And it's hard to balance those two things. But he said it. 20 laps into the race, forget all this crap. I'm focused on running a race car, and I know I've got a race car I can win with.
He's 42 years old, from a little mill town in North Carolina, of normal stature, weight, height, but he carries the weight of an entire fan base on his shoulders. We can't wait to watch him race. He would be obviously a very good pick for tonight, Dale. Is he your pick?
I'm doing my best because I never get these right, so I'm doing my best to help him go to victory lane.
Good way.
I'm going to pick Jamie McMurray. He's been fast in both the plate races this year. He's been very aggressive. I think that works to his advantage tonight.
That's a great pick. I'm going to go with Joey Logano. We saw an interview with Brad Kay earlier. They talked about the speed the Fords had on the super speedways, on the restrictor plate tracks. I don't think there's anybody that drafts as well as those two guys. And I think it's time for this guy to redeem himself for that encumbered win that we had back earlier in the year and get that win that puts him on into the chase. He's my winner.
And I know, and you mentioned this earlier, Dale, that this story, Dale Earnhardt Jr., what could be his final ride here at his best, his favorite track, it transcends sports. But there are 39 other drivers whose job it is to win this race. Should they win, they're not the the villains. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do.
That's why they do what they do, and they do it very well. And every driver that comes here knows if you get in this race, you've got an opportunity to win because so many things can happen. It's about positioning yourself at the right time at the end of these races. Now, there's a ton of them that would love to see Dale Jr. win here if they can't. That's the only exception, if they can't.
Yeah, there's 39 other ones, but let's be honest. To Junior Nation, they're going to be mean girls if they win. They're going to be mad if anybody but Junior wins.
That little baby you just saw crying there and standing, that might be the only non-Dale Jr. fan, possibly.
True that.
You saw his wife, Amy, there standing alongside. So we've talked about trying to put this in perspective the moment. Again, Dale Earnhardt Jr. still racing for the rest of the season. He's retiring at the end of the year. So he's going to continue this sort of goodbye campaign at all of these tracks. But Daytona is the one synonymous with his family name.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they've dominated here. We heard him say that earlier in the piece, that he dominates. That's what his family does. That's what he learned from his dad. They were so much alike in driving. I've said this a number of times, that if you swap cars with those two and you just got out there and raced them, you wouldn't know which one it was. It was eerily similar the way that they went about it. But he's going to have all of those skills in his pocket here tonight.
Yeah, and all Junior Nation wants to see is domination tonight. That's what they came here for. That's what they're tuning in tonight for. They want to see this 88 lead the first lap and lead the last lap, and as many of those laps in between. They want to see him hoist that trophy in victory lane.
Well, Dale Earnhardt's hero was the man who shared his name. This is the track where they both so often danced in the draft all the way to victory lane. Can he do it once again, one final time? Can he earn his spot in the championship hunt with another epic Daytona win, or will the night belong to someone else? Pre-race ceremonies are just moments away. If the script gets its magical ending, you'll want to know where you were tonight.
Lindsey Vaughn, Buck Hill, Minnesota.
Ashley Wagner, Alexandria, Virginia.
Nathan Chen, Long Beach, California.
Chicago, Illinois. Vail, Colorado.
Douglasville, Georgia.
New York, New York.
Manchester, Vermont.
Haiku, Hawaii.
Brantford, Pennsylvania.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Killeen, Texas.
Los Angeles, California.
Park Rapids, Minnesota.
Madison, Connecticut.
Salt Lake City, Utah.
We are Team USA.
We are
Team USA.
Team USA. We are Team USA.
NASCAR's most famous track, a win doesn't just pay out points, it can change your life. There's also the potential for some more Earnhardt Daytona magic. We go trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as the Florida Army National Guard Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Sonny Gallman from the Central Baptist Church in Daytona Beach offers our invocation.
Let's pray. Our God, we're grateful for the beautiful weather that we share today and the beautiful venue that we can share it with one another. We thank you for families and for friends that can be with us. And we especially thank you for the freedom that we celebrate this weekend and those who fight to protect that for us. We ask that you would bless the drivers and their crews, keep them safe. May their heads be clear, and may they drive well. It's in your name that we pray. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome the Navy Band Southeast. performance of our national anthem, and to the F5's VFC 111 Sundowners from the Naval Air Station, Key West, Florida, for tonight's flyover. Continuing a Daytona tradition that dates back to the 1970s, please join us in honoring 3 of America's bravest heroes on this Independence Day weekend. Each of these individuals was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for going above and beyond the call of duty while participating in daring operations against enemy forces. Please welcome Captain Thomas Kelly, Command Sergeant Major Gary Luttrell, and Colonel Walter Joseph Marm.
Lieutenant Commander Thomas Kelly distinguished himself in 1969 while serving as commander.
Our gratitude on this 4th of July weekend to our troops, and always, Dale's final full season Daytona ride is about to begin. Rick, Jeff, and Steve take over when NASCAR on NBC returns.